in this video, I'm going to be talking about the research, the findings and results of my 6 questionnaires which I handed out to see if there's any improvements I need to make, or just to generally see what the public thought about my questionnaire, because the whole point about this putting out this questionnaire was to get ideas on what people thought about the title of the thriller film, and to see if they had any improvements for me before I go into my focus group, which will be the next post video that I do. So going through them one by one, the first questionnaire says, yes, the title does entice them to see the film. When I asked them, what are your first thoughts on the film, I said, I think it is an interesting title that prompts me to think that the film will be about a more psychological and supernatural theme, which I personally like in thriller films due to it. So obviously this person thinks that I'm going for more of a psychological, supernatural type thriller. Psychological, yes, I would like to go for a psychological thriller. Supernatural, no. So there could be something that there could be a reason why I want it to change. Yes, it's good that it kind of gets pointed out as a psychological thriller, but I don't want to get confused with a supernatural, because I'm staying as far away from special effects and supernatural themes as I can, because it's not in my ability to be able to handle these kind of CGI special effects at my level. Do you think the title is good? Yes. What are your reasonings for your answer? It gives an idea of the film, but it gives an idea of the film, but doesn't give too much away. So that is a positive for the film title. The fact that this person thinks that my title says a little bit about the storyline, which I didn't think it did, or the type of film it's going to be, but it doesn't give anything away about too much about the storyline or anything, keeping that suspenseful so people don't know what to expect from the film, which personally I think could work really well, because the fact that people won't particularly know what to expect from the trailer or the film will allow me to create this kind of interesting atmosphere that I've been hoping to create for my thriller film. Would you make any titles to the film yourself? They said no. But then when I asked what would you change, they said it sounds like a Doctor Who episode. Now, this could be seen as something like a bit tricky. The fact that it sounds like something Doctor Who episode, which is something that I'm completely not going for, could be a bit of a problem for me. And at the same time, it could be seen as a good thing, because Doctor Who is a big franchise, and they would only pick the best film titles for their episodes. So in some ways, this can be seen as a fairly positive thing, the fact that it does sound like a Doctor Who episode. And then when I asked any final comments on the title, they did not answer, so I'll have to look out to see if that becomes a common theme of people not answering the final question, to see if and that will just be a fault on my behalf, as if I didn't need the question to be there, I shouldn't have put it there, and to waste people's time or to waste my own time. The next person said they did think that the title entices them to see the film, and they said, what are your first initial thoughts on the film? Sounds like a psychological thriller film and has a deep storyline. So yet again, the psychological thriller storyline has popped up, which I'm quite glad about, because I wasn't sure whether to go for a psychological thriller or not, because I didn't think my target audience would want to see that. But from the sounds of it, they do want to see it from my audience research, and the fact that people are saying that my title already starting to sound like a psychological thriller could mean that I've picked a suitable title for what I want my thriller film to be about. And the fact that he said there's a deep storyline intrigues me as well. The fact that one of the things I always often talked about in my genre research and planning up to this point is that I wanted a deep storyline for people to get involved in, and the fact that the title connotes that it's got a deep storyline according to this questionnaire is a really good thing in my opinion. Do you think the film is a good film title? They said yes. What reasonings do you have for your answer? It is unique and interesting, they said, which again I think is very good. The fact that it's kind of unique, interesting, and it's out there means that people are going to see this title and think, what's this film going to be about? Sounds like a psychological thriller. Yeah, let's go and watch it. And overall, I think that really could give the edge to my thriller film and my thriller film trailer for making people want to come see the film, or just wanting to see my trailer once it's finished and published on YouTube. Would you make any changes to the title yourself? They said no. And because they said no, they did not answer what would you change. And when I said, is there any final comments, they just said pretty decent, which I suppose means that they would like to, that the film title is good, and they don't really have much to change about it. So overall, I'm very happy with this questionnaire, because the fact that both people have said that it sounds like a psychological thriller has kind of given me high hopes, because of how it's kind of shaping up. They're making this storyline shape up to be this big psychological thriller, and because the title they said was unique and interesting, also works really well for the fact that people are going to say how well this could work, and how much they want to go and see it, because it sounds like something that they haven't seen before, which I hope it is. So the third questionnaire started off as, does this entice you to see the film? They said yes. And then what are their first initial thoughts on the film is that it sounds scary and mysterious. Now, straight away, I have mixed emotions about this. Starting off with the bad, the fact that they said it was scary kind of revolves back to the thing from the first questionnaire when they said it sounds like a kind of supernatural thriller, which I was really not going for. So the fact that this person also think it sounds scary can be seen, I suppose it could be seen in a positive way, the fact that it could be very intense. But if they mean it in the supernatural way, that's not a good thing, because, as I said, I wanted to stay as far away from that as possible. And the fact that my title is connoting this could be seen as quite a bad thing. But overall, I don't think it's that much of a bad thing, it being scary. And the fact that they said it was mysterious really intrigues me, because the fact that I wanted to create this psychological thriller that could be quite mysterious really excites me, because if I create a film that's mysterious, it's going to get people to want to come and see my film. The fact that they don't really know what's happening, and the fact that it connotes this mysteriousness from the title, I think could really suit my storyline. So overall, I'm very happy with these first comments. Do you think this is a good film title? Yes. What reasonings do you have for your answer? It's interesting. So the fact that my title is interesting, and was also said in the last questionnaire, proves that it's something a little bit different that people haven't seen. The fact that my title is interesting means it's going to hopefully pull people in to see this film. And because of the fact that it's interesting, they're going to be excited to see it, and interested, I should say, to see the trailer, which could make my trailer very popular, which is, at the end of the day, what I'm aiming to do for my A2 course. So overall, it's good that my title is starting to interest people. Would you make any changes to it yourself? No. And they said they wouldn't change anything. And I said, any final comments on the film? And they said it's very and it's very engaging. So the fact that my title is engaging means it is going to draw people in, maybe hopefully stand out in out there in the market today. So the fact that it's engaging is going to really pull people in to see the film, and keep them interested on updates of the film and updates on my posts about the final trailer before I release the final trailer, showing off the film and what I've come up with. So overall, another positive questionnaire. So the next questionnaire, does the title entice you to see the film? They said yes. What are your first initial thoughts on the film? I think it gives an idea of what the film could be about, but leaves me questioning what the story is. So this is similar to what we heard in another questionnaire that someone answered. The fact that they think it gives an idea of what the film could be about, but doesn't really tell anything of the story. That really interests me, the fact that people think they know what the storyline's about, which could lead me up to follow along the lines of what they think it is, or to go my own way and surprise them, which could have positives and negatives in itself. But the thing I'm glad about is it leaves them questioning. So they don't know the storyline, they're just questioning what it could be. And I think that is a good thing to have, because if people are questioning about your film, that means they're interested in what it's going to be about, and they're interested in what it is, which is what people have been saying in the questionnaires. So I think that this shows that my Questionnaire my title in a good manner. The fact that if people are questioning the storyline just from the title, it could very much reflect on me as a positive manner and keeping people interested in what my thriller film is going to be about. Do you think this is a good film title? Yes. What reasonings do you have for your answer? It gives an eerie and ghostly feel about it and is already creating suspense. The fact that this title is creating suspense is a very good thing, because a thriller film at the end of the day is all about suspense. So I'm very happy that people are starting to get suspense feel from my trailer, which could be a very good thing in the long run. But however, the fact that this person said an eerie and ghostly feel relates back to the supernatural. So again, we've got a negative saying that this could connote too much of a supernatural feel for my thriller film, which I really didn't want to go for. Would you make any changes to the title yourself? No. What would you do? They did not answer the 6th question. And for the 7th question, any final comments? It is a really good way to grab the audience's attention. I like it a lot. So the fact that this person said that they like the title, just plain out said they like it, is a really good thing for me. Because hopefully this means that people are going to start to be interested in the title and want to find out more about the film and leading up to the anticipation of my trailer when I release it. So overall, this was another positive questionnaire. Does this title entice you to see the film? Yes. What are your first thoughts on the film? The title is intriguing and conveys that it could be a mysterious and have a lengthy story. I don't really know what to think about this one, because yes, I'm happy that it is intriguing for the audience and conveys that it could be mysterious. That is very two good things that I want my title to include. However, they said it might have a lengthy story. That saddens me, because the fact that it could have a lengthy story, I don't really understand that personally as a media student. I don't understand how someone can get the vibe that a film's going to be lengthy from the title. Maybe it's because it's the whispers of yesterday makes it sound like it's going to be showing like a long period of time. So that's the only thing I can think of, which is a bad thing, to be honest, because I don't want people to think it's going to be a very long film. And because they think it's going to be a long film, I don't want them not to come and see the film. However, they did say that it is intriguing and conveys that it could be mysterious. That works really well, because the fact that people think that it's going to create this kind of mysterious, intriguing aura about the film just from the title could really entice people to want to come and see this film, because it's something different, because it seems mysterious and they don't know what's going to happen. Really could aid me in gathering people and an audience to come and see this film. Do you think the title is a good? Yes. What reasons do you have for your answer? I think the title is eye-catching and could see it is a blockbuster title. So again, positives and negatives about this comment. The eye-catching part is very positive because people will be able to see what will be able to see my film on the market, and therefore because they see it, will be more likely to come and watch the film. But the fact that they said it's a blockbuster title could sway people off, because if they think it's another generic blockbuster, which it's not going to be, obviously, because my budget and because my storyline will be different, it could throw people off thinking that it's just going to be another mindless blockbuster that many filmmakers like to make these days, which overall I'm quite upset about. But the fact that he said my title is eye-catching really does excite me. Would you change the title yourself? No. Any final comments on the title? Make sure you nail the design of the title. So that's quite an important comment that they've pointed out, because the title so far I have had positive reception on. However, if I don't get the art for the title right, it could sway people off and change their minds about the title completely. So that final comment was actually very beneficial to me, to make sure that the title art for my film is just as good and has just as good as reception as my film title has so far. So the final questionnaire started off as, does this title entice you to see the film? Yes. What are your first thoughts on the film? A drama story about the past. Here's where we have some problems. Yes, I am aiming it to be the past, and yes, I want there to be problems from the past, even if the past isn't used. However, my film is not a drama film, it is a thriller film. So this really started to kind of sway my decisions about this title. The fact that someone, even though it was only one person out of the six, thought it was a drama film, has kind of suggested to me that maybe it does sound too much like a drama film. However, I'm not going to change my title just from this one comment, and I'm going to bring it up in my focus group to see if anyone in that group agrees with this comment to the fact that it sounds too much like a drama film, or to see if they agree with everyone else in the questionnaire, thinking that it is sounds more like a psychological supernatural thriller, which is what I personally prefer over a drama film, because that's not even the genre I'm going for. Do you think this is a good film title? Yes. What are your reasonings? Makes me want to know what the film is about. Now, this is a good thing. The fact that the title is wanting people to find out about the title, about the film, which is what some other people have said, really seems to work well for me. I'm quite happy that people are going to be questioning and wanting to know more about my film from this point. And the fact that my title kind of entices people and creates this kind of know-how that they want to know what the film is about, I think means I've created a successful title. Would you make any changes to the title yourself? No. And in fact, the other two questions were left blank, which is quite a negative thing, the fact that they didn't have any final comments. But the fact that no changes were made was a good thing. So, overall, I just wanted to review all 6 questionnaires. The fact that everyone says it does entice them to see the film. Everyone says that they thought it was a good title film for a film. And everyone said no, they do not have any changes to make for it. From these questionnaires, it seems to be that the title for my thriller film, Whispers of Yesterday, seems to be a very good title that people are starting to like, and seems to have many positive comments about it, seeing that people are questioning the title and what the storyline is about. The fact that no one has said that it's a bad title, and the fact that people have said that everyone said out the 6 out of 6 said that it entices them, shows me personally that this is a good film title to have. However, the problems that brought up in this questionnaire will hopefully be answered when I have my focus group with a small group of people, 4 people I'm going to have, and 5th including me, just to see what they think about the film title and to see if we can get any other further reactions from the negatives we saw in these questionnaires. But overall, these questionnaires were very positive, and it seems so far that Whispers of Yesterday is a very good film title for my thriller film.